comparing or giving input, in form of text, it has to be between quotes here. Okay. Comparing between rows, Anuj, if cell to cell you're talking about, this is the way. If you're talking about multiple rows, then we have some, those are array formula and that are given by control shift enter. So you write an array formula for it of comparison and then you hit control shift enter. But then those formula are different. Yeah. Those are part of array formula. Yeah. Okay, so this is one way. So similar to this, this logical operator, this equals logical operator, we have greater than operator also, simply equals to comparing if A2 is greater than C2. Okay, this greater symbol. You see now I have put in all the formula here. Can you, okay. Sandhya will come to that part since we have already, hopped off to a different topic right now. I'll keep it to the last. Okay. So this is a greater than operator. And then we have different operators also. I'll quickly, you know, share it with you guys. So this is greater than operator, smaller than operator. You want to check whether A2 is smaller than C2. I hope that, these are quite simple one. We just have to understand what symbol is used as a particular logical operator. But I'm sure you're able to understand what the return value has to be. Since 21 is less than 37, that's why we've got a true value. So once again, these logical operators will return true value if that comparison, whatever we are doing, if that stands true. Okay. Now, greater than or equal to, of course, the symbol is greater than equals to. So whether the number stands greater than the cell that is being compared to, or equals, in both the cases it will return to. So here 5 is not equals to 1 but greater than 1, we have got a return value as true. Okay. 24 is equals to 24, so we have got a return value true. 6 equals 6, but 20 is greater than 14, not equals. Still, we have got a return value as true. So as the name suggests, right, this operator works. Similarly, we have smaller than equals to operator. So again, A2 either smaller or equals C2. In both the cases, we'll get a return value as true. So 5 is neither smaller than 1 nor equals to 1. That's why we've got a return value as false. Okay. That's how this is going to work. Not equals operator, where you have to, it does opposite to equals operator. Okay. So A2. So the symbol for not equals is the less than sign and the greater than sign. A2, C2, not equals. Since A2 is not equal to C2, that's why we have got a return value true. 5 not equals to 1, it has returned a true value. 24 equals 24, we have got a false value. Okay? Cool that? Okay. All right. So, can we use it in passing marks? We can use it in passing marks. Application totally how you want to use these formulae. Okay. Yes, not equals once again, sure. The not equals symbol. So what does it actually do? It does actual opposite of what equals to does. Okay. So see, number 5 is not equals to 1. So this not equal operator should give a return value true in this situation because 5 is not equals to 1. Okay. A2 less than sign, greater than sign. This is the sign for not equal to. And I'm comparing it with C2. So what should be the return here, guys? Should it be true or false? Write it in the chat group. True. False says Jyoti and Vaisakhi. Okay. Now it will return true. Why? Because we are talking about not equals. 5 is not equal to 1, which is true. I hope this answers your question. All those who had this question. Okay. Cool. Uh, see this one. 21 not equals to 37. That's why. Can we get different values instead of true false? We will get those values using if operators. Yeah, if as a logical operator. So these particular logical functions, or operators I would call, not function, if is a logical function, these logical operators return true or false only. Right. One in place of true, that can be done. Can we compare A2 with C4? Absolutely. It's totally up to you, whatever you want to compare. Right. We'll come to that part as well. Thanks, Annapurna, for highlighting it. We will talk about it. Okay, so but before that, as I mentioned, I wanted to show some more things to you guys. So I talked about, how if I go back here, you see this part, you see this formula here. I've highlighted this formula in the formula bar. Equals to A3 equals to 24. So instead of comparing a cell with the cell directly, what I've done, I've compared the cell with a particular number, right? Now I'll show you how we can compare the text value as well. Okay, so let's not, I'm gonna delete this just to show you guys. Okay, so you can compare texts also. So I'm comparing this particular value with this. I hit enter, right? Now, ideally, what I am expecting is it should come out to be true for cherries, not true for bananas, and not true for apples also. So this is this is an indication that this is not case sensitive. So if you see apples here, only the first character is uppercase here in cell A27, but you see C27, it is all uppercase. Yet it has returned a true value. We're talking about equals operator here. Okay. Now, since the spellings of bananas are different in A26 and C26, that's why we've got a return value false. That's about text comparison. Okay. Now, if I have to compare this particular cell value with a text that I want to write down, that is not referred somewhere in my data. I just want to write it down. So whenever you are passing an argument, so we call these as an arguments. Okay, so when I'm passing an argument which is a text, I have to use double quotes. Okay, so let's say I write apples here and I hit enter. This is false. This is true because apples equal A27 equals to apples. So what I'm trying to figure out is I'm trying to find out a return value true if the cell has value apples in it. So whenever you pass a text as an argument, you have to use double quotes. When you are using number, you don't have to use double quotes. So if I go back here, you remember here we passed down a number. I didn't use a double quote here. So make sure that you remember this. Okay. Any questions so far? Cool. Okay, cool. All right. You can also use a formula referencing. I want to show you here. Okay. That's another one. Okay, a simple one. So I want to compare these values, let's say here, begin from here. This particular value, whether this is equals to see what formula I've written. So I am showing you different ways of passing argument here. So if you're passing a formula argument, so far we have discussed you are passing just cells, then pass the number as an argument and text. You can also pass a formula. So whenever you are passing a formula, you use parentheses or brackets. Okay. So what a formula I've used is, which is a reference of A6. So A6 is 20. 20 by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. What should be the return value here in E2? True. Okay. True. 5. Somebody says 5. So for those who are saying 5, guys, this is a which operator, logic operator we are talking about. It only returns either true or false if the condition is, if whatever the condition stands, right? So it returns us true. It will not return any number to it. See, what we are doing here is we are comparing A2 with this particular situation, and this situation says A6 by 4. Yes, the answer of this part, A6 by 4 is 5, which is equals to the value that is contained in A2. Understood? Any doubts with this? Cool. All right. So now in this situation, how to make your text more case sensitive, when you are talking about comparison of text, but you also want to make sure that, we are talking about the equal to operator, right? We want to check whether one cell has text equals to the other cell. In that situation, we use the formula called exact. This is a, I would say, I would a benefit, a bonus, right? So exact will help you to give an exact match, right? So this return value here will be true if it is exact match in terms of case also, right? So you hop here. So I'll delete this part. Now you see this was just an equals operator. This is an exact match that we are looking forward to. Equals operator will return true in this case also. Apples, apples, lowercase, uppercase. Yes, upper, lower, and proper can also be used. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was coming to that part. Yeah. So you can use exact also. Yeah. Cool. All right. Okay. Now we move on to some more logical functions, right? So let's say when you want to carry out more than one comparison, in a formula or test multiple conditions instead of just one, then you use logical operators. Okay. These logical operators that I'm XOR, and they also return either true or false. Okay. So this is for multiple comparisons when you want to run. And let me show you one example here. Okay. So let's read this data first of all. This talks about PKT scores, which is the process knowledge test scores, right? This column A here. Column C talks about the attendance. Okay. So this PKT score is out of 50. Okay. And this attendance is, let's say, out of 30. So what I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure out people who have scored more than, greater than 20. The score is greater than 20 and their attendance greater than 15, let's say. Okay. Score greater than 20 and attendance greater than 15. So how this formula is going to help us, you use A and D and then in parenthesis, you give your different logical tests. So first condition that you want to check is about the PKT scores, which is here. Now you are saying you want PKT scores should be greater than 20. Okay, that's your one condition. The other condition you want is the attendance, it has to be greater than 15. right? And you close the parenthesis and you hit enter. So it will return true only if these both conditions are fulfilled. So let's see. Let's see here. Here we talk about A15 greater than 20. That means number 24 is greater than 20, right? And C15 greater than 15. 20 greater than 15. That's why we have a return value is true. However, let's talk about the first one. Now, this PKT score here is less than 20 and attendance is less than 15. That's why we have got false value. Okay, so and means both the conditions have to be true, then only you will get a true value, otherwise, you will get a false value. Make sense? Cool. Now, this was AND operator. OR operator. So, OR operator will return a true value if or both the conditions are met. Okay, once again, if one or both the conditions are met, then we will get a true value in case of OR function. Yes, we use these for multiple conditions and we have to make comparisons, more than one comparison in a formula or a test. Okay. So let's say now again, I want to see either somebody has scored greater than 20 in the test or if their attendance is greater than 15, either of the case or both the cases. In that situation, it should give me a return value as true. So I use OR. First logical function is dependent upon the PKT score. So this should be greater than 20 or the attendance should be greater than 15. So in the first scenario, it does not work. So what will be the return value in this? I'm writing the formula again here. Okay. You have to tell me the return value in F21 for this formula. Read the formula first. What should be the return value? Guys, read the formula first. A21 greater than 20, C21 greater than 15 with an OR function. What should be the return value? So almost everybody is saying true. Somebody is saying false as well. So let's hit enter and see. It's a true value. Why? Because OR function, as I mentioned, if one or both the conditions are met, it will return true value. So if I repeat it here, see, here both the conditions are met. 24 greater than 20, 24 greater than 15 also. That's true. Here, 28 greater than 20, but 5 is not greater than 15. It is less than 15. So even if one condition is met, it will return. Okay? Make sense? Okay. So the last function here is the XOR function. Now the XOR function returns true if neither is met or both of the situation are met. Yes, it's a little complex, but then there are some situations where we require it. Okay, so let's see how does it work. Equals XOR. First logical condition here I'm applying greater than 20, the same one, and this greater than 15. Now, the situation is it will return true if yes, is met. Okay. If either of the situation is met, just like OR. This part is just like OR function. If either of the condition is met, it will return true. However, it will return false if both met. So even if both the conditions are met, see here both conditions were meeting. However, so it's a little complex, but then it is very useful. Yes, guys, I will share the shortcuts when I'll share the takeaway sheets. Okay. No, I didn't write this formula in caps, but the return value is always in caps because you want to see if only one condition meets. Let's say you have a set of people in your team, right? Somebody scored good in your PKT, somebody scored good in your attendance, right? And you want to put your people to some refresher training or another, maybe leadership learning where you want them to be moved to some or the other training, but you want to categorize. So those who are good in PKT will do one type of training, those who are good in attendance will do some other type of training. Right. So in that situation, you just want one condition to be met for them. Want XORs because XOR will return true if either of the situation is met. But if both are met or none is met, it will return false. Right. You don't want to give them more perks. You just want to restrict them to one particular thing. Yeah. I hope that Ayushi Indranil Kumar Swami, I hope that answers your question. Anik also? Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so we quickly move on to the last part of it where I mentioned it to you guys that I'm going to talk about um, the if operator and nested ifs also, and I'll talk about if uh, error. That is an interesting part. That is really helpful part. So let's quickly move there. And there were questions also around, what if we don't want true or false? Why is G17 true? G17. Why is it true? Why is it true? Why is it true? Why? Because this particular value, so it will return either if either of the condition is met. Now this is not met. However, when you put NA, so it will consider as the ASCII code to it. Whenever text is given and you compare it, it will consider it as the ASCII code. So ASCII code of alphabet NA is greater than the ASCII code of number 20. So one condition is met here. Okay. All right. So now let's see. Um, okay. We have the PKT scores here. Okay. I'll highlight it yellow. The process knowledge test scores for some people. And I want to, mention instead of true or false, the condition that I want to check is if these people have scored, let's say, I'll talk about 70. I'm keeping it 70 just for the ease of it. Okay. So I'm keeping them 70. 70 is my cutoff here. So anybody who has scored greater than 70 is pass, else they have failed. Okay. So now this will check the logical condition, but it will return values what I want, or it will take some action what I want. So the logical test that I'm comparing is the value present in cell A33. So I want to check if this particular value A33 is greater than 70. Okay. So if you see, you are getting this hint here. What does it mean? So next part after comma is value if true. What should be done if this stands true? If A33 is greater than 70, I want it to type pass. Okay. So when I am giving it a text to be entered, I have to write it in quotes. Pass. Else, if this condition doesn't stand true, else I would want it to be written fail. Okay, let's hit enter. Let's see. So we have pass for 75. 55 wala is fail because of less than 70. 44 wala is also fail for us. Okay. So this is where I checked to condition. So now I have only one bucket where I have categorized people into two different categories. What if I have, three categories where I want to give a score to people? Let's say 0 to 50. if the score is between 0 to 50, I want to declare them as fail. Between 70, let's say 71 to 100. Okay, don't go by this. I'm changing it here. 71. I'm changing the conditions here. Okay. Between 71 to 100, I want them to be in the green category. And between 50 or a pass, and between 51 to 70, I want them to be eligible for refresher training. Okay, so let's see how this is going to work. So my logical condition obviously is about this particular cell. That means if this value is greater than, first of all, that I'm going to give is the bigger bucket. If it is greater than equals to 71, let's say. Okay. In that situation, what should happen? I should get pass. Else. Now, else I have two different buckets. Now, the buckets are 0 to 50 and 51 to 70. So I will use another if that makes it a nested if. This is called a nested if. One if, another if. It becomes nested if. So my second condition, again, the logical test is on A33. Now it is, if it is greater than 50, then it has to be refresher. And if it is less than 50, it is fail. And another bracket. Can we use conditions in one formula? Absolutely, you can use. You can use multiple conditions. So right now was the simplest example that I took. Obviously, you can use different conditions. So those conditions, again, you'll have to use and or. You know, if you have multiple conditions, you want to check multiple conditions. One is basis PKT, another basis attendance. Then you have to use if bracket and then another parenthesis if, and we can use and for multiple conditions. Yes, Aditya, that's what I was talking about. And or if you want to check either of the conditions. But again, you'll have to use the logical operator and or XOR, maybe not also. Okay, so this is how you categorize whatever numbers that you give. Okay, cool. Okay, so I hope this works. So see, refresher for between 51 to 70, below 50 is fail, and other than that, they are pass. Okay, all right. It is, see, yeah, you can use an equals also. Again, I just gave a random number here. It depends what type of buckets that you want to put, whatever conditions you want to put. Right, Anik? It started to get complex because it's a it's a nested if, na. That's why. But with practice, it will really be very easy. Trust me. And I will share this sheet, whatever sheets that we have used today to practice all the formula written in it. And another, I'm going to share a booklet with you guys that will have a lot of shortcut keys, right? But I would need 2 business days of time to share that with you guys. So, okay. Excuse me. Okay, cool. One last thing that I'll show you two things quickly. We have 2 minutes of time here. Another usage of if function I would like to show just to check if the number is odd or even. I just want to show if there are different categories to it, right? So if you want to check if a number is even or odd, you can use a mod function available here in Excel. So you want to see if this particular value is divisible by 2. So if this mod returns 0, that means it is divisible by 2. In that situation, it should write even, else it should write that it is an odd function here, right? So 75 is odd, 555 odd, 94 is even, 44 is even, and just example, just wanted to show you guys. Right. Last thing about this is if error. Now there are situations where, if you remember here. Okay, so if you divide this number by 2, see, here it gives you hash value. Sometimes you get hash division by 2 and stuff like that. These are the errors. Okay, these are the errors. So to catch such errors and replace them with something, probably a blank cell, then or a custom message, you can use if. Okay, so here it was simple division. So error, you use this simple division by 2. If this value, you know, returns an error, in that situation, you want it to be blank value in return. So it will work for eligible or for right values in the same format. However, in case of error, it will return a blank value. You can also type in something here. So this is really helpful. I will repeat this when we'll talk about VLOOKUP. This is seriously helpful when we apply VLOOKUP, right? So this particular value divide by 2. If this returns an error, we can simply write error, right? So if I hop here, I would get error written here. So you see? So this if error helps you capture the error and replace it with some blank value, any other value, or a custom message also. Okay, cool. All right, then. Now over to you guys for your questions. I know we took a bit of a time here. Okay. All right. Now over to you for your questions and queries, guys. And before you guys hop off the call, false value if both the conditions are met or if none of the conditions are met. So when we have to check just one condition to be true, right? Yes, Ketan. Yes. Okay. So those who are using the form right now, Ketan, you might be opening up the form. Do you get the option of writing today's date? Can you confirm? Cool. Okay. All right. So XOR formula, this is how it is going to work. You check the conditions here. I hope that answers your question. Color conditioning, if I want pass, that we'll talk about in the third workshop. That's day 3, day after tomorrow. Annapurna? Mod formula, okay. You can get these formula in the sheet that I'm going to share. That's a simple if function in Renil with practice. Once I share the sheet with practice, I think that is going to help you. Yeah, and it will be all sorted. My name is not there, guys. My name is Varunika Arya. Guys, my name is Varunika Arya. Please choose my name as the facilitator, Varunika Arya. All right, and do share your valuable feedback. And also wait for 2 business days for me to share the takeaway sheets with all of you, okay? All right, cool. Remove duplicates. Sure. Let me share another. All right. Screen not visible. Is the screen visible now? Okay, I'll repeat this duplicate remove part here. Let's say we have some entries here. These are some entries. You go to this selection, select the column, you go to data part, go to remove duplicates. you expand the selection here, because if you continue with current selection, only name, delete the entire rows to it. Okay, so you go to remove duplicates, unselect here, just select the name, right? And then make sure this is checked if it has headers, and you select OK. So now those repeated would be deleted. Formula for odd even. For odd even, okay, sure. So basically mod function in Excel, mod and whatever cell it is, divide by 2. Okay, this equals to 0. If this is the formula, mod of any function divide by 2, any number divisible by 2 is an even function, so I can use a mod function here, right? So you check this condition. If this is true, then it is an even function, so you can use it with an if function. So let's say I write it here, 14 and 15. Okay, so if I say if the mod of this particular number with 2 return 0, then it is an even number, else it is an odd, right? So this is even and this comes out to be odd. Okay, all right, any more questions for me? We've got a minute here, just 1 minute. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. Those who have shared form would like to thank all of you for joining in. Yes, let's connect tomorrow in that case. Satish, this is the formula. Check the formula bar. Okay. All right, then. Let's catch up tomorrow. Guys, my name is Veronica Arya. Please use the correct name in the feedback form. Thank you so much. How to segregate full name into 2 and 3 cells. We have talked about it. That's from text to columns. You select that particular name. Make sure that you have multiple blank, 2, 3 blank columns here after the name column, right? You go to data part, you go to text to columns. Okay. How do we remove the duplicates of the lowest numbers, Sandhya? Duplicates of lowest numbers. So that is an array function. Array function, because your data is in array form now. Those are array formula.